This is the web-based version of WordBulder. So once I go to this website, I'm going to click Start, and I enter my name and choose my animal icon and click Create. I do that every time because student data is not saved in this version. So now I check my written record, which I'll talk about a little more later, and I see that I left off on Unit 7 and I was in Part 2. So these are my target prefixes and suffixes and vowel sounds. Remember, WordBuilder's cumulative, so not only will I encounter these affixes, but I will encounter all the affixes that I learned in Unit 1 through 6. So I see for my prefixes, I have miss, ill, ear. For my suffixes, I have ants, antsy, ents, incy, ate, udge. And for my vowel sounds, I have O, and O, spelled 3 different ways. When I'm saying the prefixes and suffixes, I want to be sure that I'm pronouncing them like they're pronounced in words. So if I think of ate, I think of tolerate. Udge, I thought of luggage. Edge, kind of a idge, udge. And now I'm going to start, and I can personalize my screen. So I'll choose the background color, and I will make it a little bigger, and then I can choose the color I write with. And then I'm going to use my decoding strategy. So I circle the prefix, miss. I say it as I do it, D and I underline the vowel, E, and then I divide. I say each part, misdemeanor, misdemeanor. If I have trouble blending 4 parts, then I can cover up, misdemean, misdemeanor. Now I'm going to read the sentence. It's a misdemeanor to follow too closely when you drive. And I will build the word. Misdemeanor. Remember, saying everything as I go. So now when I cover it, you have 2 choices. Choice number 1, you have students write it here. They uncover it, misdemeanor, check each part, and then they go to check for mastery. That is not my favorite choice because, first of all, I don't like writing with a mouse. And second of all, I like my students to have a written record of the words. So what I typically do is they have a WordBuilder composition book, and at the top of the page they would have Unit 7 Part 2, and this would be word number 1. Okay, so in that case, I would build the word, cover it, and then I would be writing it in my notebook right now. Misdemeanor. Then I uncover it, and I still check it looking from my paper to the screen. If I get it right, I go to check for mastery. Misdemeanor. Still saying everything as I go. Yes, I got it correct. I spelled a coin. Now, this is where I could have my students do some manipulation. So can you change the word? Can you take off miss? What's your new word? Demeanor. That's kind of how somebody acts, their demeanor. And for this one, I don't have a lot of manipulation options. I was thinking of if something is demeaning, but I don't have ing, so that's fine. I'll just have my student go on to the next word. So they go to navigation, and they would go to number 2, and I would repeat the process over again. When my students are ready to exit, they go to exit unit, and they can see for this session they've mastered 1 word and earned 1 coin. Remember, when they close this session, it's not going to save. So if they have any coins that they want to spend, we have lowered the price of the game so that they can play within 1 session. But when they're ready, they click in session. And the words that I've mastered, they do come up. So if I want my students to save this way, they absolutely can. They can save it to their desktop, Or if I just want them to do a screenshot, that's fine as well. But again, I do like the written record. So we would go back to the home screen, and I'll just refresh so you can see again. When I go back in, there is no student data saved. I have to create my account again, and I have to check my record and go to where I'm supposed to be. I do want to show you one more thing. If you go to Teacher Resources here, you'll be taken to the WordBuilderApp.com website. Here we have e-learning modules that explain in detail how to use this instructional tool, as well as helpful handouts like a decoding strategy anchor chart and a scope and sequence. Thank you for watching.